Tim.
Hey, Nick. You guys have had a double-digit lead in 9 games this year. You lost 3 of them, and in 4 others, ended up scrambling in the last couple minutes to win. I just wondering if you have any thoughts on why you guys have been unable to put teams away when you do build big leads.
Yeah, that Rube, obviously, that's a really good question. Obviously, if we knew, I don't know if there's ever just one answer to it. I think there's times where you go through it, and I say I'm always going to look at myself first. Was I aggressive enough, keeping the lead offensively? You're always going to think through that. And when it doesn't go, I think when it doesn't, like yesterday, when it doesn't go, you come out on the losing end of it, you're gonna think through all those different things. So of course, when I look at the game yesterday and we're in that 4 minute, we get the onside kick and we're in that 4 minute, I like the calls, but maybe I could have been more aggressive there. And that's just me being honest with you guys. Like that's something I'm always going to look at first, and then it goes into, are we putting the guys in positions to make plays, and then are the guys executing them? And so, but like I said, I'm always going to look at myself first, and that's where that's one thing we haven't been great on 4 minute offense, and that's me, right? That starts with me, and that again with how aggressive we play it, and so yeah, I think those are a couple of things. Now, when you're up 10 and you get into 4 minutes, completely different being up 10 in 4 minute, or one possession in 4 minutes. So something's went there in that to get to that has went there to where the lead has eaten back up. But yeah, to have that lead, in that many games, and winning 6 of them, losing 3 of them. Obviously, those 3 that you lose are always going to stick in your mind, and you're gonna evaluate everything. And like I said, those are my evaluations without watching all of them today. My evaluation is that of myself.
Go ahead, Tim, and then Jeff.
Hey, Nick, I wanted to see if you agree with the sentiment that it seems like there's been a weight to this team for most of the season, even when you guys were winning. What do you make of that, and how important is it to kind of shed that in order to have success in the coming weeks here?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Tim. I think that's expectations, and I think that always plays into it. If this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what we know we're capable of, and that's not that's our expectations of ourselves, and you know and knowing that we can continue to play better and coach better. And so I think that has been a little bit of it. I think if I'm obviously would have to spend some time thinking through that, but then my initial reaction is expectations. And like I said, we all have high expectations. The fans, us as the Eagles, the coaches, the players, and so it's just wanting to live up to the expectations, but also just we also got to understand that it's about daily improvements, and looking, zoning in just on where we are. And I always got to make sure that that's the focus of the team and myself, of being where we are today. That's why, I mean, I know how cliche that sounds, coming from a coach, that, hey, you can't worry about the playoffs. You can't worry about this. You have to be worried about today. How are we going to put a plan in today while the players are off, to beat the Giants, right? And just taking those steady moments. I think sometimes you can get yourself out when your expectations, when you feel like you're not playing to your expectations and coaching to your expectations. It's easy to look forward and say, all right, here's what we got to do to get to doing those things. And you want to do that, but like, how are we going to do this in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks? Well, it's just so important that you're locked into where you are at that particular time. And so, that plays into it.